Hello. Brett Cotty from Cotty's Coaching here to talk to you about climbing the Mastery Mountain. So for me, mountains is a huge imagery. I came from Colorado with the mountains, the Rockies right behind me. And it's always been a really powerful image to me because the idea of climbing a mountain is so powerful where you get to feel the success of getting up to the top, getting to the peak. And so it's really become a big part of how I think about mental toughness and a championship character is being able to see the peaks, see where we want to get to, and then be able to work towards those. So that's the first step, is knowing, which mountain you want to climb. There's a lot of different mountains in this world, a lot of different coaches doing different sports. You got to figure out exactly which one you want to master. That's your first step. And then the second step is going to be building a map. So starting to look at, okay, where are the trails that other people have taken? How have other people found success? How have other people gotten to the top of this mountain? By looking at others, we can start to learn from them and follow their trails, so we don't have to forge through different trails that could be dead ends or get completely lost and turned around onto the wrong mountain. All sorts of different things is why you want to keep your eyes on the peak and then finding a map to be able to go towards that peak. And then with that comes the tools. So once you kind of have an idea of a map where you're going, you got to figure out what tools you're going to need to get along the way. Are you going to need to be learning to communicate better? Are you going to have to learn your specific sports strategy? Are you going to have to learn to control your emotions? There's a lot of different tools that you might need to get to that top of the mountain, to get to that peak. So you got to know what tools you're using along the way. And then always invest in a guide. It's always better to have a guide when you're trying to get somewhere, because a guide can help you to not get lost and can help really give you some tips along the way, maybe a shortcut. They can help save you a lot of time and energy that you'd be wasting by getting the experience yourself. Yeah, it's awesome getting the experience yourself, but you're paying for that in time. And that can cost you weeks, months, years, decades, depending on the problem, depending on the obstacle. Whereas you could take from an expert, somebody who has already been there and already knows the subject, and learn from them and get that boost really quickly instead of having to learn it all by yourself. And then the last one is the path. And it's just keeping your eyes on the path, making sure you are paying attention to what you're doing. That means being really grounded and present and focused, because if you don't, that's where, again, you're going to get lost, you're going to wander off, you're not going to enjoy the experience. You're going to get to the top of the mountain, even if you're not paying attention, and you're going to sit there and go, oh, that was fine, but you didn't really get to experience all the beauty and the work along the way that helps make that process so fulfilling and awesome. And the last thing I want to really point out here is, as we're taking this path forward, you got your map, you've got your guide, you've got your tools, you focus on the path, and you reach the top of the mountain. What happens when we reach the top is it doesn't stop. We don't get to live on the top of that mountain. You don't get to live on the top of that success. As soon as you're there, you immediately have to start descending and look either for a new mountaintop, or you got to come down and then go back up the same mountain and try and be even better the next time. You can do it faster. You can take all the knowledge you have. But at the end of the day, you don't get to live on the top of the mountain. It's constantly summiting and then coming back down, because that's the path of mastery. You don't get to just live in one area. It's a constant, refreshing, constant process that we're going through to try and really get to mastery. So if you're trying to master a subject, this is going to be your basic stuff that you're going to need to be able to master, and you're going to start putting yourself in that mastery mindset. So comment below what you want to master, what you really are passionate about, that you want to be a master of. And as always, like, check out brettcotty.com if you want to try and level up your leadership. Find that guide, find that mentor to help you really level yourself up. So if you're interested, again, brettcotty.com, and keep your eye out for more of these videos as we keep pushing forward and keep trying to get a little bit better every day. So as always, keep getting tougher.